Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to game 4 of SKT1 versus eSTRO. eSTRO in the house. And we are looking at some craziness here in the making, possibly. The Zerg versus Hyvaa. This is going to be a ZVZ match here. The Zerg is going to be... Whoa, they changed colors. Let me double check here. The Zerg is going to be red. He's in the bottom half of the map. And Hyvaa is going to be the white Zerg in the northern end of the map, representing eSTRO. That is the Zerg right there, in the red SKT uniform, SK Telecom, and appropriately his color in the game is red as well. And yeah, the Zerg and Hyvaa both kind of, not really top class players. I would say Hyvaa is more of a top class player these days. He's been actually representing for eSTRO pretty well last season. He has been proven that he's a force to be reckoned with, and a very decent player. Not quite, entering the top ranks yet, but he's been, getting more and more impressive. The Zerg, however, is not that good. I'm frankly expecting Hyvaa to close out the series here. ZVZ is kind of crazy, though. Anything can happen in ZVZ. And this is Outsider, by the way. I'm sorry I haven't been saying the names of the maps previously, but I forgot to check them beforehand. And these are mostly new maps this season. I haven't had a chance to really memorize them just yet. But this is Outsider, one of the maps from last season being used again. And we see the Zerg going for, it looks like an overpool with gas. And Hyvaa, on the other hand, has gone for 12... hatchery, going for a 12 hatchery, which could be very, very bad actually. If the Zerg, wow, okay, this is really bad for Hyvaa. The Zerg is probably going to, he's not going to be able to scout him obviously, but he's going to be able to scout the third location. It's a 3-spawn map, so he's going to be able to see that Hyvaa is not in that third location and know where to send his Zerglings, and he's going to be sending Speedlings, probably Speedlings, very, very quickly, unless he goes for a quick lair. But this is going to be really bad because his, wow, the Zerg spawning pool is in now. It's just finished morphing, and Hyvaa has just started making his pool. Okay, I'm sorry, it's not in yet. There it goes. Just a second too early. But he's got Zerglings on the way, and Hyvaa is just, whoa, actually, it looks like he's going to make some Zerglings and then a lair. Only 4 Zerglings! So he's gone for the quick gas, and he's only made 4 Zerglings early. He's obviously made 2 more Zerglings now, and it's going to be another 2 in a moment. There's the other 2, but he didn't go for those quicker 2 Zerglings, so he's only going to have 4 Zerglings coming in here, and in this kind of a game, seconds can count, because, oh, and he's delaying some of his Zerglings. What is he doing? What is he doing? He needs to go now. Oh, man, this is beautiful for Hyvaa, because the Zerg has decided to go for a quick spawning pool here, the overpool build, and now he's delaying his Zerglings. And now what he's going to try and do is just build up as many Zerglings as possible and go in for a larger attack in a moment here, probably when the speed upgrade is about to finish perhaps. And he's hiding some of his Zerglings so that Hyvaa doesn't see them, so he makes less Zerglings. And Hyvaa sending his Overlord down the route so he sees any Zerglings coming to his base. He's not going to see those Zerglings in the expansion there. Although I think the Zerg thought that maybe Hyvaa's first Overlord was coming to his base, and so he had to hide them that way. But now it's too late. Hyvaa's gotten out plenty of Zerglings. He's going to be pumping more Zerglings, so he's going to have enough Zerglings to deal with. So basically, the Zerg went for an early strategy for early Zerglings, early Speedlings, maybe Speedlings. I don't know if he's actually gotten the speed upgrade, but he went for the strategy of going for early Zerglings and didn't attack with them. He didn't attack at all. So now, well, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of an opportunity they missed. What he's obviously doing right now is he's going for a quick Spire as well. So he's still going to have that same window where, just like he had a window where he had Zerglings and Hyvaa did not, he's going to have a window where he has air units and Hyvaa does not. And what he's actually done, actually, this is not too unclever. What he's actually done is he's kept some Zerglings in reserve, and oh, he brought them out at just the wrong time, because now he's going to see them. What he's trying to do is, oh, and now he's bringing out the rest of his Zerglings at the wrong time too. He's going to have to fall back to his ramp. He needs to fall back to his ramp. What he's going to try and do is hide those Zerglings and then send them in to try and snipe after Hyvaa's Zerglings had come in there, but now he's just stuck. He did not have enough on his ramp, and Hyvaa made a ton of Zerglings, having more, having a second hatchery, having more minerals, he's able to make a lot more Zerglings. And now Hyvaa has got his Zerglings surrounding the Zerg spawning pool, and it's gonna go down. He target fires. He's gonna bring off some of his Zerglings to fight those Zerglings, but he's gonna kill that spawning pool. Only the Spire is left. He cannot make any more Zerglings. At this point, all Hyvaa has to do is just pump Zerglings in there. He's gonna be able to kill it off. He can't make any more Zerglings to defend. And there's GG coming from the Zerg. The Zerg GGs. And eSTRO has won the game. The second to last placed eSTRO team, bringing out some relatively low level players, has managed to conquer the A lineup of SK Telecom 1, the defending grand champions of the last season of the Pro League, and that is absolutely amazing and very, very, very cool for eSTRO. And the Zerg has got to be kicking himself. He played that all wrong. I guess he couldn't have known, because his Overlord was not in Hyvaa's base, so he didn't know what Hyvaa was doing at the time. But little did he know, he just played it completely wrong. Went for early Zerglings and did not use them when he had the chance. He could have gone there and put pressure on... usually we see when they go for the overpool, you see them send in their Zerglings. I mean, that's the point of going for the early Zerglings. When you go overpool, you're almost certain that the other player did not go for Zerglings before you. Or if so, you can still have almost the same amount of Zerglings, and it's not a big deal to have a couple less, because you can always fall back, and you can put pressure and try and kill off that early hatchery if they've gone for a 12 hatch build or something like that. But instead, the Zerg playing passively and holding back and just letting Hyvaa build up. I mean, he went for that 12 hatchery, which is a bit risky, and he should have lost that game. Usually, if top level players, you see that happen. The guy that went overpool is going to run in there, and they'll have Zerglings out too early, and it depends on the quality of the player and the micro, but oftentimes they'll be able to kill off that expansion and really take the lead and take the game. We've seen it happen time and time again, and this time the Zerg just being too passive and not doing enough there. And really, I think that's kind of the theme of this whole set, is SKT1 being too passive. Because remember, Bisu, he was a little bit too passive as well. Did not attack early enough. We saw Fantasy... Well, Fantasy versus Magic was a whole different story. That was a lot of tactics and stuff. But then we saw Best do the same thing, where he had an early advantage. He had an early unit advantage, and he did nothing with it. He did absolutely nothing with it. There was a point in time where Classic had a bunker, and no tanks, and his factory was just getting up. He was just getting machine shop up, and Best had like 3 Dragoons and a Zealot, and he didn't attack with it, and he just let that opportunity go, and he let Classic take the economic advantage because of it. And then he got completely outplayed with the Deep Six as well. But so we saw Best being overly passive, we saw the Zerg being overly passive, we saw Bisu to an extent being overly passive. Yeah, and I don't know if I would say Fantasy was being overly passive, but he wasn't being as aggressive as I would have expected. And Up Magic, in fact, was being aggressive, and that aggressiveness won him the game, because he was so aggressive, getting in drops and things. And so, yeah, the passivity of SKT1, and here we see the Zerglings get split in half, and some of his Zerglings just get slaughtered there, and then he just does not have enough to hold his ramp, although he actually... he just didn't have him in good position. He could have held his ramp and gotten a few more kills out of those Zerglings before they got up the ramp, but he didn't have him in position because he just chosen the exact perfectly wrong moment to run down the ramp. And if he just waited a moment longer, he would have had his ramp secure, and he would have been able to get those snipe Zerglings out behind, and it would have been a little bit better. I still think he would have lost, but would have been a little bit better off. But anyway, regardless, that's the game, and I'm really excited to see eSTRO doing well and coming out and proving that they're a force to be reckoned with here. Anyway, yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed that whole set. In case you're wondering, I did ramble a little bit at the end of this intentionally, just because there's some space to kill, so that way, just a little tiny bit of an anti-spoiler for the Zerg game. If the video looks longer, some people look at the video length, and if the video looks longer, then maybe you think that there might be a comeback. Anyway, take care, thanks for watching, and GG.